Good morning, folks, wherever you are. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are around the world. My name's Ron Bishop, and I'm here today to talk to you about a pet subject of mine, which is myself. I'm writing my life story on YouTube, and I'm telling everything that happened. And the subject I'm talking about again today is employment law. Now, those of you who listened to me yesterday morning, every morning I come on here, I do a video. Every morning I do at least a video. I've got a goal, and my goal this year is to put 1,000 videos on YouTube. And at the moment I've got 158. There's 158 of my videos on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, if you just type in Ron E. Bishop, Timaru, New Zealand, you'll see them all there. And if you type in employment law in the top bit, you'll see all the posts I've written about, all the videos I've done on employment law. If you're looking at my my blog, which is Ronnie's blog, and that you'll find that at www.timarudirectory.co.nz/news. Ronnie's blog. There's 160 posts there. So I'm going to be talking about this employment law in New Zealand, and I suggest you I'm using a test case. I've been 5 years in dispute with the New Zealand government on the employment law in New Zealand, because I think it's crooked. And this video this morning is about that. Now, yesterday I told you to have a pen and paper handy, because we're going to be covering a lot of stuff, and you'll need to write some of it down. At the moment, the number of people in my campaign is 1. Me. I'm the only person in the world that is part of this campaign. I'm starting a campaign to change the New Zealand employment law, and I've got one person in my campaign, and that's me. So I'm looking for supporters. I want people on my side. And on my blog, there's 160 odd posts there. You can write a comment, and I want you to write comments on any one of the blogs. Just write a comment. If you got something, if I'm talking about something and you have a comment you would like to make, I want to hear from you, because I'm looking for people to support me in this. And I'm using a test case between myself and a woman called Christine, who I dismissed, and we've spent the last 5 years fighting over the thing. It cost me a lot of money. But anyway, it's all there on the blog for you to read. Now, today I'm going to be talking about some of the people that were involved. I lost the case. It cost me $30,400 odd. I had to pay Christine. The government said I had to pay it. They threatened to sell my house if I didn't pay it. They also, I had a mental breakdown 30 years ago. That was brought up in court. And I had the mental health people ringing my wife and saying they're going to sell my house and everything. You know, the whole thing, it's all there. If you read the post, you'll get it. But anyway, here I am, and this morning I'm going to be going through the whole thing, and I'm talking to the people who helped Christine win the case. She won the case, and there's certain people that helped her. I'm saying it's wrong. I dismissed Christine because I found that she was dishonest, and the judge said she was not dishonest, and the Employment Relations Authority member also said she was not dishonest. So what we've got is two people saying Christine Bennett was not dishonest, and me saying she was dishonest, and that's the difference. That's all there is to it. And Christine spent $40,000 on lawyers' fees to fight this. Now, I want to say something from the outset. This is not a malice thing. I've got over it now. I'm okay. I can handle it. And it's not malice. I'm not trying to get revenge on anybody. I'm trying to change the New Zealand employment law. And to do that, I have to describe what happened in a real live test case. And for Christine, I'm not trying to put her down. It's the government that put her in that position. And I'm going to be talking about some organisations today, government organisations and that did things wrong. And, okay, so we're going to start this morning. Just a minute. I've got a whole list of people I'm going to be talking about. People and organisations. Once again, I'm not putting these organisations down. I'm blaming the government for everything. Right? It's all on the government's shoulder. The national government of New Zealand. Now, and I'm speaking to all the members of Parliament. All the members of Parliament, I'm sending them emails every day telling them what I'm talking about. So I'm not hiding nothing from them. The first company on my list is a company called Harvey World Travel. And we're going to be talking about Harvey World Travel because Christine was employed by Harvey World Travel. And she got dismissed by Harvey World Travel. I didn't know that when I employed her. But she actually came to me with a reference from Harvey World Travel and saying that she was a good person and all that sort of stuff. But little did I know that they didn't tell me that she had signed a confidentiality agreement because she'd had a row with one of the girls at work, and they'd got into words and a bit of fighting going on and stuff like that. And yeah, she got the sack. There's a young girl had the franchise for Harvey World Travel. Her name was Gayleen Bennett, and Gayleen dismissed her and finished up having to pay Christine money, go-away money she called it, and she also gave her a reference after she'd sacked her so she'd get another job, and she signed a confidentiality agreement. So I've got a question here for Harvey World Travel this morning, and I've got 3 questions for Harvey World Travel. And the first question is, if an employee of your firm is dismissed for unacceptable behaviour such as assault on a fellow worker, is it your company's policy to provide the sacked worker with the reference of good character and a confidentiality agreement? I'd like you to answer that. Number 2, when your Timaru branch franchise holder Gayleen Bennett dismissed your former employee Miss Christine Bennett for unacceptable behaviour in the workplace, was she intimidated or felt threatened by lawyers if she did not reward Christine for her bad behaviour? That's the second question. Number 3, does your company intend to make good the loss incurred by myself and I after you had provided, sorry, I'll read that again. Does your company intend to make good the loss incurred by Mr. and Mrs. Bishop, which is my wife and I, after you have provided them with the character reference of good standing of Miss Bennett after she had been dismissed of unsatisfactory behaviour? You see, I was conned, wasn't I? Here's a lady, she comes along to get a job, she gives me a reference which says she's a good worker and she's an honest person. So I give her the job. And then I find out that she's been dismissed by Harvey World Travel, and the reference was given to her afterward as part of a payment for a personal grievance claim made by solicitors with Gayleen. Now, poor little Gayleen, she went out of business. She's back with the company now. I'm pleased to see that, Gayleen, that you're back there and you're enjoying your work, because that's where you're supposed to be. But you had to go out of business because the traumatic experience that you had was terrible. And I'm blaming the government. I'm not blaming you. I'm not blaming you for giving me that reference. You were intimidated by the lawyers and the law that made you do it. And that's what I'm angry about. So let's summarise all this, shall we? Here is a company that dismissed a lady for aggressive behaviour in the workplace. And the lawyers got together with the lady that was sacked and said, we're going to claim a personal grievance claim and get some money for you because the government law in New Zealand says you can have a personal grievance claim. And she got paid money for assaulting another lady. She actually assaulted her, and she got a reference and used that reference, good character reference, to get a job from me. And I was the one. If she had not done that, we would not be having this conversation today. So I'm going for $1 million. I'm asking all those that are involved in my case for $1 million, because my reputation is at stake here. I was charged with sacking a person illegally. The law in New Zealand said I sacked somebody because I never had a good enough reason, which I'm denying. And my reputation has been as a good employer has been shattered, and I'm asking for $1 million because that's what I'm worth. But I don't really want the $1 million of putting it in the middle there for people to look at and say, this is what this man is worth. $1 million. And he wants some money. And I'm asking you, Harvey World Travel, because you're a big organisation, for a donation. Give me some money so I can take my wife on a holiday. She's nearly 80 years of age. She's a mental wreck. We've had 5 years of this. Okay? So I'm asking for $1 million. Now put it to money. I don't know how much you give me. Give me what you like. Most of it I'll give it away anyway. But listen, put some money in, will you? Put some money in. And show the government. It's not your bloody fault. It's the government's fault. We need to show the government. And come on my side. Give me a comment. Come on my side and let's change the law in New Zealand. Because you've got a lot of people. I just see here you've got 500 travel agents worldwide. That's a lot of people. You employ a lot of people. You're a big organisation. And you can help the little guy, like me and many others that are having to pay out. The little Gayleen Bennett's of this world. So help us, will you? Will you do that? Now listen, I've got to go. I've got to put all this together, and I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to come in tomorrow. Click on, sometime tomorrow I'll be there, spouting away again on the same thing, and I'll have another company which I'll be talking to, and it's the National Bank of New Zealand. So don't forget, tomorrow I'm going to be talking about the National Bank of New Zealand, which is now the ANZ of New Zealand, and we're going to be talking about what they did to me. Okay? So see you in the morning. Bye-bye.